about da da da.
Yeah, we could do it again. Anything we covered, you know. So like any questions and all that. But I mean, how you guys want to start it? Like just intros or
Oh, I hit live, so we might be live already. Let me just
yeah,
double
that's what it
check.
says. It says live on my end.
Okay, cool. Yep,
Yeah.
I saw the commercial. So what's going on, everybody? We're here with Crib slash 4042 and Clean. So hope you guys are doing well. I know that you just released an album, right? Pretty
Yep.
recently.
Yeah, very recently, this month, we released the Live from the Club album, which was an album that myself, Awesome as JL, uh, in collaboration with Bad Fox and Sound Rig, you know, we put out, pretty much we started working on the project sometime like right before CNFT Con last year, and just recently got it out. We finished it maybe a few months ago, but uh, so the first track we put into the mix, Menton Wise, was a track called Twitter Space, and the album was actually supposed to come before that, but you know when we end up doing that track and it started getting some good traction and movement, we decided to focus on that, and I like kind of pushed the album back. So the album ended up dropping. I believe it was the beginning of this month, like around the second. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You're selling them separately too, right? I think you're selling the Twitter
What's
Space
that?
one separately, and then you're selling like the album as like
Yeah.
a whole thing.
Yeah, so the Twitter space would be more so considered a single, and it's actually iHold's track. So like I'm a featured artist, myself, Awesome as JL, and S Dizzle. But like I said, when that track came about, it was kind of free form, just organic, just working with someone else in the space, and then he set out like, yo, let's release this. Then we want to drop on this date. So I had the album coming. I was like, I didn't want to drop them like back to back like that. So we talked about it, and then since that was gonna be easier to move, it's just a single. We just decided to go ahead and release that first, and then the album come after.
Got you. Now,
Yeah.
how does that? Because I know a lot of people they like the idea of NFTs for music because the labels traditionally are the ones that own your music. But this way, it doesn't work that way. But how do you own your music? Like when you sell your music, let's say you make 100 NFTs, do you
Mm.
still own your music, or do you have to own the NFT to own your music as well?
So hold on, wait. When you say own it, what are we saying? Like you saying, am I giving people like rights to the music or
Right.
like?
Like when they own the NFT, because like when I bought Clean's NFT with his music, I use it on pretty much every one of my YouTube videos that I make in
YouTube?
the
Yeah,
background. So if I
yeah,
were to own your music, could I use it as like an
yeah.
outro or intro or
Absolutely.
whatever?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. We're giving like usage rights for stuff like that. Pretty much the only thing that it would be conflict would be if someone was to distribute it, and claiming, the publishing or something like that, which we have taken care of. Because when it comes to traditional music, you got like distribution onto like the DSPs, which are like the streaming platforms. And so you put it on there. That's one type of royalty you collect from that. Then you got like publishing, mechanical. There's a bunch of technical stuff that goes into it. But no, I'm not selling like the ownership in terms of like, now this is your song. You go whatever, put it on this TV show, go do this. Like as far as like personal usage and like a channel or stuff like that, like creating content with it. Yeah, hell yeah. Like you won't get any copyright strikes or nothing like that. In terms of the music, you're good to go. And that's something we actually want. I know me personally, I'm speaking, for myself right now, but I said we because, people I've worked with in terms of music and releasing NFTs have said the same thing, to put this out, give the means for the person to like, because I know how it is with YouTube, like I have videos literally on my channel now where copyright is like, it's not a strike where I can't have it up, but I can't monetize it, right? So like with
Right.
this, you will be able to monetize. You can put it on your channel, and like I said, you won't get that strike.
And then with you though, can you make more NFTs from the same song, or is that like a liability thing because you've already kind of like made a certain amount? Like how does that
No,
work?
No, I mean I own the copyright and the the publishing and everything to the music, so I could distribute it. Again, I wouldn't do that. Like if I create an NFT with music, most of the time I'm looking at it, behind the collector's aspect, and then also just like it being a unique piece. Like so, like most of the tracks, like the album for example, we haven't like released that on the DSPs, like just because it's I look at it as right now I'm building from within the space and out, so it's like I'm starting with the music in the space. I do have some stuff on streaming platforms, but I'm more interested in this space for the reason that you mentioned. Like I'm an independent artist first off, so like labels don't own my music, labels don't own my likeness. They don't get to, I'm not in that type of situation that I have to worry about whether or not I can redistribute anything. I'm the creator, and I hold that right. But yeah, pretty much I'm more interested in this space because it gives me the means to get direct with my base, and at the same time, take in directly what the base is paying, or deciding to support with, and utilize that for whatever I'm doing. And there's no middleman, there's no one scraping, besides the fact if I use like a platform and there's a percentage for like what they've built, and which I respect. Like if someone develops something and it's a platform, I'm using it to mint, or anything like that, then of course they should see something from it. They help facilitate the sale. But yeah, it's that's pretty much the gist of it when it comes to like releasing. But I would like to like each one be like a unique thing.
Got you.
Mm.
And Clean, how about you, man? Do you have any questions? Or I feel like I kind of skipped the intro with you, homie. I got to let you talk. What's going on, man?
It's it's okay. It's okay. So I know with music, it does take time to get out. You said you were working from CNFT Con until now, so that was like
On the
October
album, yeah.
until April, essentially. You know, about how long did you spend just mastering it and trying to get everything right? Because I know that when I was doing my own thing and doing my own music, which is different, um, but there was always something I was missing, or something, a couple ticks that I wanted to check off, as far as like making it sound full and complete.
Right.
About how many takes and when did you know that it was complete?
Well, so the mixing and mastering was handled by Awesome as JL. So like we did sessions. Like we're in two different places. I'm in Maryland. He's in Georgia. In the States. So pretty much when we first started, it was like a back and forth thing. Like I'd record, I'd send it to him. He'd do something. He'd send it back. I'd be like, change this. Let's do this. So we were like, man, we have to figure out a way to like streamline this and make it so that we can get stuff done in a better time, because maybe it would have took us even longer if we hadn't come up with this direction. So what we end up doing was we end up using Zoom. So we were having sessions via Zoom, and there's actually like a feature in there that like allows like for like the streaming of the audio and everything, so it was in real time. So that actually made the process better, and then helped it along. So man, we had many sessions. I don't even know the number, to be honest. We would come, it whether it be like a fresh session and the track is getting put together, as far as like he's putting his verse on there, or I'm fixing a part on mine, and then but I did this from my end, of course, with my mic and everything, my setup. Or just like we're mixing, or maybe we're adding tweaks to like drops in the music, or little effects and stuff like that. So we had different types of sessions, and just talking in general about like what's going on, and I actually edited there's so with the NFT you get the songs, there's the lyrics included, and then there's like some bonus content that kind of show that behind the scenes, and like we speak on it a little bit about what went into it, and you can see a bit of how it was for us. And that was like honestly my favorite portion of it, working on it, because we weren't able to get into the actual studio. We had different things going on, so like timing and everything, but we were able to utilize Zoom online situation to actually get the album done.
Gotcha. That's
That's pretty
cool.
cool, man. Just got to shout out Hugs Not Rugs, man. Always appreciate you joining, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. And yeah, do you prefer the kind of like, send me a track and then I'll record in my own home where I'm comfortable, or do you prefer kind of going to the studio and getting a vibe with the person who's going to be producing the music?
Well, I would say I prefer the studio situation because it's just like, it's right then and there. It's fresh. It's both energies are there. We both bouncing back and forth off of ideas right then and there, and that's kind of pretty much the reason why we, like I said, we went away with the Zoom, because at least even though we weren't physically there, we were both present in the session to like do stuff. But I do appreciate being able to record, in my own setting anytime I want, like that was something I got into. Like I've been making music maybe since like 2015, more on a more professional note. And so like back then, I would just do the studio. And for me in the beginning, it was like kind of rough because like, so right, I would write, songs beforehand, and then I go and I book a block. And now I'm rushing. I'm like, I want to get as many tracks as I can done within this block because I don't have a whole lot of money to keep, multiple sessions. It can add up. So like maybe like 2-3 years in, I invested in some equipment, and it's helped my process. I think it's helped me as far as an artist, as far as my writing, recording in general, just like the overall process. Like having that means is something I suggest for every artist, even if you want to go to the studio and get the finalized, situation. Having a mic in your setup to be able to start to put together a track, like whenever you feel it, it's like it's revolutionary. It's been for me as far as being an artist, recording artist.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when I first got my microphone, it was just kind of like it wasn't a recording microphone,
Mm-hmm.
So when I first got my recording microphone though, I was just like, oh man, like, cause I'd been writing probably since I was like 12 or 13. I'm 29 now. So I've always written raps, but I never started, actually like singing the lyrics behind a beat until way later in life, probably 19 years old, 18 years old. But
Mm-hmm.
I'd been writing for a while. So did you start writing before you got into actually
Hell,
doing?
bro, hip hop is my culture. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I grew up all around it. We freestyle for fun. We listening. We want to know the latest tracks. Like so like me recording for the first time was a little bit prior to the 2015 thing. I just mentioned 2015 is the time where I just was like, okay, I'm gonna take this more seriously. I'm gonna pursue this. That's what that was. But before that, I did a couple tracks just like I guess you could say for fun, for the hell of it. I had a homie, he actually makes music. He goes by Left Lane Skrilla, and he had the studio set up when we were in high school, like early years of high school, and so he would tell me like, yeah, bro, I record. I'm like, huh? How you do that? I started to inquire about it, and then so what we would do is like every day after school, I would go to his house, and we were like, this is back when like I actually can say I met that right before the transition when people were still like writing in composition books and stuff like that. Like I came from that transition, like like right before it moved into like people writing in the phone. Some people still write, the physical, like, but I mean, it was an era, prior. So like, yeah, I would go there all the time, and we would record songs. And I remember we did this song, I can't remember what it was called, but to me, the song was a hit. I was like, bro, we gonna get this song on the radio. I was like, I was so pumped up. And then something got messed up and he deleted it. And I just I was like, man, I don't want to rap no more. And I kind of fell back from it for some time.
No.
Yeah. And I was like, that just, it blew me so much. Like, and just didn't record again for a while, but got back into it like around that 2014 going into 2015 arena, and really what it became for me like it was just a thing of expression, like music, rap, uh you know creating song is like a form of expression that I I feel like full when I do it, right? Like it's like life to me. It gives me life, and so that's kind of why I started it, and why I continue to this day.
No,
Gotcha.
I love that, man. Hugs Not Rugs too. He said, I appreciate you guys making content during the bear. It's rough out there. Hey, I appreciate you watching through the bear, man. A lot of people are like, why am I watching? There's no mints. Why? I'm not making no money, you know? So I appreciate you, man. You're a real one. And he also says he gets it like a G, but it's never been easy. I don't know if y'all know what that's referenced to. Do y'all know? Do you know, Clean?
Nah.
You should know. You should
No.
know.
No.
It's my outro, bro. It's my outro.
Oh shit!
You don't know the outro, bro?
It's my outro, bro.
Oh yeah, that's
I get
right.
G, but
It's
it's
like
never
a
been
G, but it's
easy.
never been
You
easy.
got me caught up
Shit,
on the
I
week of
got
rap
it.
like
I got it
easy.
now.
Let's
Dude,
go.
shit.
But yeah, do
Man.
y'all get the line though? I get it like a G, but it's never been easy. Is it G easy?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, cool. All right. Yeah, sorry,
So
I
speaking
was
of
geeking off my own
like
shit.
speaking of like popular rappers or anything like that, what's up, Tink? Is there any chance maybe down the future if this hits it big, maybe a collab with like Corday or like Logic or somebody from
That'd be sick.
Maryland?
Hey, I mean, it's all in the air, bro. Like, I mean, my whole goal with this is to, like I said, start from here and build out instead of build in. You know what I'm saying? Because like 4042, the whole concept and the direction with it, it started in Web3. It started with NFTs. It's linked to crypto. So that's why I'm mainly like focusing on the community, and like I've been like it's been major, like the whole cross chain thing. We've been a big part of that, like just in terms of networking and going to these other chains and seeing what's happening and using music as a bridge to do that. So with all that being said, yeah, sure, any of that can be on the table. I've been in more spaces where there's like links to bigger artists, and I have a network of people who are work in the industry. So it's definitely very possible. It's just it's got to make sense. See, like a lot of those artists, they're in situations where we spoke about. I kind of spoke on it a little bit earlier, where they don't even have the right to just create with free flow freedom to just create. They're signed to a label. Their likeness and everything is under that label. So as far as who they can work with and who's green light is a whole nother thing. So but yeah, I could definitely see it. Trying to think of like artists I would like to work with. That's too many to name. Um, but maybe let me see, like who's. I'm trying to think of someone who's even interested in the space, because that's probably what most likely would happen. Someone who's kind of in the space a little bit. And and yeah, but let's just leave it open and say yeah, man, Snoop Dogg would be cool. I know it's like cliche, but yeah, I could do a groovy track with Snoop, something slick for sure. Yeah.
Now you collab with a few people already.
Yeah.
Do you prefer? Are there some people that collabing it's just kind of a struggle because they got like a flow or a certain rhythm that you're like, I don't know if I really vibe with this, or
Nah.
is it kind of like I'll just do my thing? Maybe it fits on here. I'll do my best to like fit my own style on here, and
Yeah.
whatever happens, happens.
That's my approach, man. Like if someone, so long as it's like not an out of pocket, as I say, topic, or just it's something that doesn't really resonate, or that I stand for, then it's all game, man. Like I'm gonna hop on, I'm gonna do my thing. I hope you did your thing, because I'm gonna do my thing. And like I'm down for different types of collaborations, man. I'm open in terms of production. Right now I work with a few of the same producers, like within my network, Two Illy being one. He's from Jersey, dope producer, very hip hop but experimental sound. Like he's very versatile. I've been working with another producer by the name of Stray Souls out of Toronto. Um, Man, that stuff, man, I can't wait till people can hear that stuff. We're stacking up tracks. And then of course JL, he produced, executively produced this whole album, so everything on there is production from Awesome as JL. But yeah, collaboration is coming into the space made me bigger on collaboration. I feel like I always had that spirit, like let's come on, let's do this, let's come together. But it was always some type of conflict, some not literally like physical or nothing, but like just in terms of some reason why people don't want to make the move or take the step, whether it be like status or just money or whatever the case. But coming into this space, I've met so many people who are on the same wavelength, if you will. Like, they're on the same type of time as me. Like, bro, let's make dope stuff. Like let's get some stuff together. Then we can figure out how we want to move it, if we want to sell it or whatever. I won't just jump and put it out and sell it. I want whoever's involved with it to, like, reap from it too. And that's this project. So, like, with buying this album, like, yeah, anyone who's following us, they're buying in, they're supporting me, Awesome as JL, Sound Rig, Bad Fox, all these people involved with the project get a portion of the music. So it's not like it's just like I'm taking everything and it's just like me. No, I'm about we. I like to collaborate, and it's something I encourage when I'm just speaking and talking with people in this space in general. It's like that's what makes this thing grow. That's what makes anything move and become bigger. Is like the network and collaboration aspect.
How did you get started with Bad Fox, by the way? Because I know you've been with them probably since the very beginning. I know you've been
Yeah.
making music and you have music on the website. How did that
Mhm.
all start?
So honestly, like, and just to kind of give a background on me, like, so I came into the crypto space, maybe around that 2020 region. Dogecoin brought me in. like I didn't know much about crypto prior to that. I had seen Bitcoin before, but I just wasn't paying attention. My life and stuff I had going on, it's just that wasn't on my radar. So when the pandemic started, I was learning, like, trading options and stuff like that. So getting into, like, investing and that type of stuff, trading and whatnot. Then, and so crypto came on the radar. People were speaking on it, and I was just like, I had mixed reviews in terms of the different people within my network. Some people were like, yeah, man, this is the next thing. Some people were like, man, that's a scam. Leave it alone. And then, so I was using Robinhood at the time to, like, trade on. And when Robinhood put Dogecoin on there, I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna buy this thing. I don't know what this is, but let me buy this thing and see. So that skip past that. That brought me in. Came into crypto. I was kind of low key for a good amount of the time, just as a student, just learning. NFTs came on my radar, and I think it was ETH first. But ETH, I experienced the gas and everything. I just remember. I can't remember what NFT it was, but I just remember trying to buy NFT and the gas fee was higher than the actual thing, and I was just like, oh hell no, this is a scam. Like, this, to me, that's like, no, something's not right. So I think Cardano had just started. Like, I've been in the Cardano ecosystem since when before CNFT.io, before they had a marketplace, when stuff was on, like, Telegram, and they were trying to sell space buds, and I'm just like, this looks like a scam too. I was very tight with my crypto, like, like, in the beginning, as far as, like, what I'm buying, like these NFTs. I still didn't fully grasp what it was and what it was about. And so, like, I've been here since that time. But getting to the point, like, to Bad Fox, like, when Bad Fox was minting, uh, I, I kind of, like, learned the project from OG Bears, and because I was in OG Bears already, and so that's how that came on my radar. And I checked it. I was like, this is kind of dope. I was seeing what they were talking about, they were about. I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna buy in, and I ended up getting 4042. The Fox, and I just, by the time I reached this project, I can't even say it was like anything that just made me like, yo, this project over every other project. It really was a timing thing, to be honest. And I just kind of fell in love with what was being done, the community. Ben's a solid dude. Got in good networks with Ben, and came in as a community member, and I just got this idea, like, bro, I've been in NFTs for like a year, maybe a little over a year now, and I'm like, I'm always waiting on what someone else is going to do. Like, what is the founder going to do to add value to this NFT? So by the time I reached Bad Fox, I had the grasp, like, you know what? I'm going to do something to add value to this. Like, what can I do to kind of, like, as being a part of this project in the community, what can I do to add value? So I decided, what are my skills? I make music. I know how to make music. I'm in the graphic stuff. I'm going to create. So, I kind of just drop some stuff, put it out. And then Ben was just kind, he rocked with it. And I didn't ask him, I didn't tell him like, yo, I want to do this. No, I just did it. And he embraced it. And that's what made me even more bullish. I was like, I like this guy. Cause he didn't like come to me like, whoa, you need the okay, or you don't like how you're doing this. No, Ben was like, that's just fire, bro. Keep doing it. I love it. And I'm like, that's my guy. So, now to this day. And then it came to the point where, I just had been in the community so much. And now I'm like more so in like a community manager position, kind of like a face in a way for Bad Fox, representing with 4042 and just doing the music thing.
Damn, that's crazy, man. I love that Ben embraced it fully too, man. Ben
Yeah,
is such a cool guy. Like,
good guy,
Ben's
man.
underrated, man. Super
Yes,
underrated.
yes.
The
I
whole
tell people.
project.
Yeah, man. I tell people all the time. I mean, but I'm in the ecosystem. I have peers. I see, they about the flips, man. They like pretty much the only thing that can be done for a project that's solid is continue to build and continue to be present and show results because people are nervous about the space in general. Like I met people in New York. I was talking to them. They're like more whales and ETH, and I'm telling them about stuff building on Cardano, and they're just like, man, we've heard that before. I'm just trying to make some money. Like, if it's some money to be made, I'm getting in, da da da. And I'm like, and there's a lot of people who hold, large amounts of crypto. That's their mentality. Not everyone, of course, but yeah, as the space matures and develops, which I think has already been going through, some of these more solid projects will, they'll have their place. And not everything is going to be like big in your face all the time, so it's kind of just about you finding the value in it for what it is. And if you see being a part of it as something like whether beneficial to you or just like a great community, like then you tap in with it. And that's where we at right now. So slowly but surely it's building, more and more folks catching wind of what's going on. And I think Bad Fox will get his respect, and Ben as a developer.
Yeah, 100%. And Clean, I got to ask you too, because I've been thinking about this. How long did it take for Ethereum NFTs to blow up? Like they came out and like a few of them were flippable, sure, but like how long until they truly blew up?
Well, so they first came out when Cardano was developed in 2017. So when you think about it, we're 5-6 years deep into Ethereum NFTs. Now, the great thing about Ethereum NFTs is the fact that like most people that got into Ethereum got in at a low price point or a lower price point, right? Same with Cardano. Like most of these people, there are people that got in at like $2, $3, whatever it may be. But when you think about it,
Peace.
10 years down the line, like how much is that $2 or $3? So it's gonna take time to develop. I mean, last bull run, on Ethereum, you could make a crap ton of money. Same with Cardano. You could have made a crap ton of money. It would have been a little bit smaller than Ethereum based on transaction volume.
Yeah.
But if everything is relative, people that bought into Cardano at like 33 cents or like whatever are sitting with all this Cardano. So the next bull run for, 5 years from now, we don't know where it's going to be in 2028, right? Like where is Cardano going to be? Is the transaction volume going to be in the millions? You know what I'm saying? And if so, that'd be great for the space. I mean, I make moves on Ethereum now just because that's where some of the money is at, but my heart, like I said, is in Cardano. Like that's where I hold most of my shit. So it's like, well, I naturally support it more. Like I looked at Ethereum and I did, just like you, looked at the gas prices and I was like, holy crap, no way, dude. I'm buying this NFT for like $70. The gas is 200.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Like,
I
just didn't see
don't
it.
think I can do it.
I didn't see it, bro.
Yeah. So the reason why I was asking mainly is because it took a long time, right? It wasn't just like, oh, NFTs are out on Ethereum. Boom, everybody's making money. Let's freaking go. I got in yesterday. You're too late. Like people owned, and I don't know the exact prices, but Bored Ape Yacht Clubs or whatever they were, for many months. I think it was a year or 2 years before they actually blew up like they blew up. Wasn't it? Or was it only a year or a few months?
It was
Maybe
like
I'm wrong.
9 months, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Journey Crypto covered them, and that got them kind of a push. And then they did like the mass marketing with like Snoop and Champ and Eminem and Steph Curry and all these NBA players, right? They just shilled out free Bored Apes for like publicity, essentially. And so,
Yeah. So like my point is, like Cardano is super early, and we all say that, we all know it, but I think especially during this time we have to reiterate that to everybody. Like, this is a 30-day chart. This looks really bad in volume, and it's horrible. You know,
hey,
you
we're
go to the
almost, do you see we need 2 NFTs traded to get 2 million?
2 NFTs traded to get to 2
Look
million.
up
What? Where?
NFT traded.
NFT. Oh, literally 2.
No,
Or no.
1,002.
Yeah, 1,002.
Sorry.
Close enough. Close enough.
Before you
But
just go
yeah,
buying 2 haphazardly, it's
Jumping the
actually
gun.
1,002. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, I've been getting pretty depressed during this time too, being down in all my investments, debating, do I sell after I just invested a bunch into like the clays throughout the years? I invested into like cornucopias. Do I sell that? You know, I just tried getting into Kongs, and that's not doing too well. So it's just like, I have this fear of like, should I dump? But I really don't want to dump at these low levels. And if we do
Right.
scale it out, like you say, till 2028, like, bro, that's only 5 years. And we think that's forever, and it feels like forever. It will.
In this
But
space.
yeah, but 5 years, man, if we can do what Ethereum did in 5 years, and I'm not saying it will, right? We have no idea. But if it does, and we really just relax and patiently build in here and buy, I don't know, maybe some clays at these low prices, maybe some more Cardano in general at these prices, and we wait 5 years, we can be in a good position similar to Ethereum. Maybe not exactly, but we can. And all of this depression right now is just a temporary few months on the little, large scale time frame. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying buy here, but I want people to maybe lose a little bit of that fear and just
Right.
kind of like take a breath and just be like, okay, like, I'll buy a little bit more. I still believe, like, if your belief hasn't changed and the only thing that's changed is volume, then continue to buy. Is how I think of it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I like the DeFi sector in Cardano. I'm seeing like, more people get interested in that. Excuse me. And I think that has potential, to bring more people into the ecosystem, and then, that could trickle into NFTs as well. Like, I like how Tap Tools even just integrated that with I guess, I don't know if that's like an aggregator, but pretty much like where your portfolio now shows your NFT worth, by floor price. That already existed, but that's what I primarily use for the DeFi sector, is like Tap Tools. I'm on Tap Tools. I know TA. I'm charting, all these type of things. And yeah, there's been quite a boom over like this year, like in DeFi, seeing a lot of like runs and projects like Ajax, NTX, IAG, like that space is like, it shows like, I mean, because you got to think anyway too, there's a lot of Cardano holders who don't partake in NFTs at all. Like, they hold Cardano, but they just don't give a damn about NFTs.
Yeah.
They're like, they're kind of, I don't know. They, some people like, what's the point? Like, the PFP culture, people don't get that, So, but I think that'll shift. I think just, the interest in it, and it'll be according to what innovations and what, new things come in with projects in terms of what they're doing and what they're building. New tools being built, like for example, like, I think Bad Fox, with the tools could be a pull, like for some of those type of people, because maybe they're like, what's the point of these projects? But then a project like this is going on the radar. But it's got like an airdrop tool, it's got a governance voting tool, like, stuff that people can actually utilize, like outside of NFTs, and but just via Cardano. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think the DeFi sector will definitely pull in, more folks, especially as we, move towards whenever this bull run is to come. I'll say it like, I think it's the machinist. I've been on his Twitter space. He said, "We're one day closer to the bull run." That's every day, like, and I like that. We're one day closer.
That's true. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, Nick, is like you can't liquidate now. I
No.
mean,
No,
with the floors
no.
being the way they are, it's just kind of like,
But you can't admit that the thought hasn't gone through your head, right? Like you see Clay's at 3,600, and then 3-4 weeks later it's at 3,000. You're like, and then 2 days later it's at like 28, and you're like, and then
Right.
2 weeks later it's at 2,000. You're like, like you really start thinking about it.
and I get that, but the thing is like that shit already passed you, bro. Like,
no, it did.
If you're not selling at 35, why the hell would you sell at 2K? Right? It's kind of like, and I mean, I sold Kongs and stuff, but that was a legitimate move while they were still a little bit peaking before Magics came out, just because I wanted to move into a more stable project of Utes. You know what I'm saying? So I sold Kongs to get into Utes. So the moves that I'm making are just, they're more to solidify for me the next bull run, right? Like I'm gonna sell all my Utes if it hits 10K. Like 10 ETH. If it hits 10 ETH for some odd reason, like let's say at the peak of the next idiotic bull run, I'm selling every single one of them sons of bitches, cashing out, not caring, and throwing that shit into ADA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't wait for that moment to come and me just bring up this clip and be like, are you selling? And you just be like, well, I mean, technically something else is being developed next week and that could bring in some liquidity. And, I'll probably sell in 1 week and then boom, it crashed. And I'm just playing, but it happens, it does.
This is digital receipts here. But
that's fine. Hold me to it. The thing is that I'm not married to that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can't be.
What I'm married to is my own success and my own bags and my own stuff. Like I love founders. I love engaging with people, and it's great. And I love building the space and like interacting on Twitter Spaces. But at the end of the day, period, I have to make the best move I possibly can. And I faded the shit out of the Pepe coin. It was in Utes Discord,
right?
Like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, and I was like,
so you think that train's gone?
Yeah, it's probably gone. Like I would have sold by now, for something that's like you could have put $300 or $400 into it, right? Just like whatever, and you'd be walking away with like 10 ETH. You know what I'm saying? Which is like 20,000. So
I'll say for the record, like it's okay to take some profits. It is okay. Everybody, have your own investment strategy. I'm not whatever that person's position to give you that advice is, but I'm just saying, like, have a strategy for when you buying into something, because I mean it is still your money, like if it's a certain percentage return, or like some people use it, like sometimes I use this strategy, like if I like a project, I'm buying more than one, because I want to be able to sell something if there's like a peak and it hits my range of what the return that I'm looking for, and so like I try to always, as I say, get my money out but still be in the project, you know what I'm saying? So like, because if I can get my initial investment out, then I'm cool, because anything after that is like, if it's a loss, I didn't make anything, but if it's a gain, then I'm up. But yeah, like it's the shame thing about people, taking profits. Like you got your own strategy in this space, man. I came into this space from like a more investment standpoint, like a trader mindset, and then I did get into, and I am still into the community aspect. Like I appreciate the community aspect, and I see the future for that and what it can do, and what for a brand or a project or a company or whatever, like what you're able to facilitate and create in this environment is different than like the Web 2 setting. Even though it's using a lot of those tools still, it's just some type of energy and like mind state in the space. But we got the FUD and everything, and the bear market puts people into like a downtrot type of state of mind, a lot of folks, and then that's very contagious, like the negative mind state, like we know as in IRL, like that spreads way easier than anything else. And that's like one of my goals, man. Like I'm a person, like I don't really stress much. Like I'm blessed, man. I'm grateful, for what I do have, and I just move towards where I want to be. And so I just try to bring that energy to the space, bro. Like that's my whole thing. Like it's like not selling hopium, but just like, bro, like if we allow people who just FUD to just reign supreme, that's what it'll be. It'll be just, you know, like this negative space that people get tired of going. Like it got to that point with Twitter spaces and stuff like that. Like I wanted to fall back. I stopped going in a lot of the Twitter spaces I was going because I'm just like, all they doing is complaining, you know, and I'm on a different note. Like that's not how I live my life. So it's like that's a way that I look to contribute to it, is just bring that, like, bro, like see a vision, like have a vision for this that's like, people call it what you want, like over optimistic, whatever, like I said, hopium, whatever, but I'd rather lock in on bringing that into fruition than locking into it failing, because even though that's very possible, either or is very possible, but which one do you want? You know, like, and so focus on that and how you contribute to it, and then, you know, we can get there, I believe.
That sounds like the book The Secret. Have you read that?
No.
So it's
but
basically what you said though. Yeah, it's like you think about things that you want and you just focus on those and it kind of manifests itself, right? So I think it's funny because I like to bring up these like kind of like philosophical topics and then kind of joke about them to like lighten it up a little bit. So I think it's funny that my dad, he like really believes in that, but he uses it for really dumb shit. He'll use it for like trying to find a parking spot at the mall or something. He'll be like, there's going to be a parking spot on the left side. I've been envisioning it all morning. And there will be a parking spot, but like, I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's I do believe like it's more likely, you know, for something to come into fruition if you, like, you know, it's two creations, bro. It's like it starts in the mind and then it becomes physical. Everything we see, you know, that was the case, you know. It was like
He's going through the tunnel.
Idea.
I don't know if you can hear us, but your camera's black and your voice is kind of distorted.
What about now? Yeah.
It's still distorted.
Still distorted.
And I still can't see you.
He's still beep booping.
That's interesting. I didn't find nothing. Well, cut the camera off.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Your face now. Yep, a little better.
Was good.
Ah, your voice still a little robotic.
Sometimes my shit bugs when I go from like cellular service to Wi-Fi. It's almost like I have to reconnect.
All right, we got a load in this shit.
There it is.
Oh, there we go.
Great.
See, that's better.
Yeah, this is better. So now where are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you too.
Man, now they're black. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear us though. Dang. Well,
maybe I shouldn't have connected to Wi-Fi.
So, here, let me send him like
out here and come back.
Send him like a tweet.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Oh, okay. That's what I was gonna tell him to do.
Yeah, just disconnect and then come back.
Yep. Unplug, plug back in.
Yep, that's it. I don't know why it does that. Sometimes when I switch from cell phone to Wi-Fi, it like unplugs the audio essentially.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Am I good?
Cool.
You're good.
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't even connect immediately to Wi-Fi. Just like for some reason when I came in the house, it just did that. But yeah, just sum it up. Pretty much what I was saying is like, I mean, the fact that everything starts as a thought and then becomes reality, bro. Like we can look around us and see anything. The computer we're using, the house we're in, the chair we're in, it's all the same aspect. So that's why I say I much prefer to embrace that, because it's like if I want something to come into reality, why would I? You know, of course, you do have to take in what else is going on and like, you know, it's factors, but why would I lock into the not happening, you know, when I can focus on the happening, and then how do we get to that? Like, that's my thing.
No, I love that, man, because recently, I mean, I struggle with like my depression and shit. I haven't talked about it in a while, mainly because I'm not really feeling that way anymore, you know, but at the beginning through the YouTube journey, I was feeling it pretty strongly. And, you know, we moved up to this new place. I don't really have many like friends up here, which is, you know, fine. I don't really mind being like on my own, but my brother moved back in with us. and he's super into like working out and being the best version of himself right now because he's like young and going through that like kind of young life to adult life transition, and he's just like, I want to make sure I start right. And I love his mentality from it, and he kind of like, you know, rejuvenated like a spirit inside of me to like kind of be like, all right, yeah, you're right, like I used to have that too, like where did that go, like let's get right back on it. So I think, you know, every day I would wake up and I'd be like, man, I wish I was this, or I could be this. And then I was just like, nah, screw that. Like we are that. We just need to create that. So, you know, we bought some gym equipment. I know, Clean, you're also going through your own like transition for working out. But, you know, mine is to get bigger. I've always been a really skinny person. So all I need to do is like focus on my diet and work out. And all that really takes is like an hour to 2 hours out of your day to make yourself the version of yourself that you want to be. And instead of waking up in the morning being like, I wish I was this, it's just
you acting.
I'm focused on working out and eating right. And at the end of the day, you can like be like, I'm working towards this. Even if everything else goes wrong, even if I lose money, even if I lose my job, my girlfriend breaks up, whatever it is, like I still progressed at this, like being what I want to be. And I love that.
Because those become, in a way, distractions. You know, it's a challenge, bro. Like nothing just snap. You know what I'm saying? Nothing worth having snaps like that. And it's, if you do like see, it's a lottery state of mind in this space in general, because we see all these crazy runs and everything of projects. So it's like it seems like that's the thing. But nah, man, it is challenging. It is, you know, you get tested, and it's like, can you keep that focus? Can you stay locked in on the goal? Because there's many things coming in the vision the whole time while you're moving. And like so, you know, that's the important part. Like you said, that, you know, you stay locked in with that, and you know that, you know, even though these obstacles are presenting themselves, you're still moving towards that, on that path, bro. Like, you know, and you mentioned your brother, like how your brother ignited that spark in you. Like, we got to deal with people who have that state, who are in that state, because whoever you're around the most, that's who's going to influence you the most. So however they're thinking, they're talking, that's going to have an effect on you. And so, like, if you're ever feeling like down and, you know, not motivated, you do have to question who you're around. And if you're by yourself, then, you know, we got this means, you know, to come in on here and have conversations with people, find some people to talk with who just kind of, you know, uplift where you're at in your spirit. Like, that's very important, bro. I believe in this world in general, even outside of this space. Like, because like I said with the FUD thing referenced earlier, if everybody, you know, goes into that state, the world dies. Like, the world dies. Like, once everybody gives up, we're done. You know, so there has to be people who are using their imagination, who are like, you know, kind of like, you know, far grandiose visions, like, because it's inspiring. It's like, can we get there? Like, wow, that sounds amazing. Like what do we do now? Like, that's my thing. Like, focus on how to get there, like, versus, you know, oh, that can't be done, because people will show you up, man, time and time again. Like, you'll doubt something, but just because you doubt it don't mean that, you know, that person, or, you know, some of the other people that are into it doubt it as well. And so it could still, you know, come into fruition. Like, so yeah, I think that's major, man. I think it's important.
So
that's something they tell you when you're younger too, like watch who you're around. And yeah.
So do you so this is kind of weird, but it's something I stumbled across and wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it. So, like, we know with AI revolution, this, that, and the other, or whatever is out, people doing Chat GPT and whatnot. There were like AI unreleased tracks, right? Of like a new Biggie and Tupac song, right? Done through AI.
That stuff is scary, man. That's crazy, bro.
And the same thing with like somebody did one with I think, like, who was it? Somebody in The Weeknd. I forget who it was.
Drake in The Weeknd.
Yep, Drake like, in The Weeknd.
That literally sounds like a song they would make, bro.
Drake sounds better than Drake. If that makes any sense.
No,
I like AI Drake more than I like real Drake. And so I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I'm thinking, you know, it's gonna be weird. Are these artists gonna have? They already have ghostwriters, right? But it's gonna be AI ghostwritten. AI can produce the voice, and all they have to do if there's any mess up they can just edit it with their own voice.
Technically, they don't even have to record. They
Right.
could just perform. You know what I'm saying? Like my whole views on it is like, just in general, the whole like AI voice cloning and everything is like, that's scary, man. Like, I had to have a conversation with my grandparents, like, yo, if anybody calls saying they're me, like, you know, be skeptical. If they're asking for anything, be skeptical, because we're in different times. And as far as the music goes, like, there's a whole like debate about that right now. And like will people start to have to copyright their voice, and like, is that possible? Like, is that a thing? Like, you know, because you got these AIs that are able to generate songs, like good songs for the most part. Like, they're pretty good. Like, you know, like I said, that sound, the Weeknd and Drake sounded like something they would make, and they haven't worked with each other in some time. Like, so, you know, like how dangerous is that, as far as like the type of message they can put in there? Or, you know, like, it's strange, man. It's a little scary, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. That
Have you seen there's this company or a program, it's called Lander,
yeah. I'm
Landr?
familiar with Landon. Yeah, I used to use
Yeah.
it for mastering.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah,
just gonna say that was like an early version of like AI mastering of a
yeah,
song. You
yeah,
send it the MP3 file or whatever it is, and then it will clean it up for you. It'll kind of like pitch some things down or like take out some of the muffle. It's not perfect,
yeah.
but
Right.
It doesn't, or at least I don't think they've updated to this. It doesn't deal with mixing, so just mastering. So like, you know, mastering is boosting, you know, EQ stuff a little bit, like limiting stuff like that. Like, you know, goes into that. So it's really like the boosting of the acoustics and stuff in the track. And so like you had to already have a good mix, you know, to mix at a place that, you know, you see fit before you put it through that software. But yeah, you're right though. That wasn't early. That was AI. That is AI. You know, dealing in music. So that's something like that I look at as beneficial. You know, in turn, of course, not for like a master engineer, like, you know, like, but he could use it. You know, that's so. So I'm on two sides. Like, when I hear the thing you said, clean, about, you know, the taking the vocals and making songs, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I don't want anyone to clone my voice and make music. But the tool aspect, like of being able to utilize it, whether it's like if mixing comes into play, like the mixing, the mastering, like stuff that can just help the procedure of the creation of music, and you know, empower more people, because some people don't have larger budgets, you know. Now if anything, like, I don't think people are going to lose their place when it comes to creative stuff, because we'll always have the means of, like, not saying AI can't tweak, but just to get personal and add, you know, certain touches that make us human into the music. And so, like, you know, I don't know what that looks like for AI. They can copy something, you know what I'm saying? They can take someone else's thing and kind of mirror it. But what if you're taking a different approach and different touch? And I think it's just going to push for more creative range in the creation of music. But the point I was getting at is that, you know, like, for a person that doesn't like have a budget, you know, and but they're still able to produce by utilizing these tools, that's good. But now, if a person does have a budget, like, they want that whole experience that goes into, like we mentioned earlier, going to the studio, working directly with the engineer, like, tweak this, tweak that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just life happening in the creation of that music. Like, that's not going to be there with the AI creation. You know, there's no story there. You know what I'm saying? It's no story, is no added essence. So it's like, that's something that I believe will continue to make what people do in terms of music creation valuable, more valuable than just AI. But for a corporation, a record label or something, they won't give a damn. You know, like, they'll use that, and, you know, so it'll really get to the point where it's like, what are you willing to support, pretty much? Like, do you want to? Are you truly for the artist, or you don't give a damn? You taking it like you go out to eat. You don't tell people thanks for the meal. You just go in there, get the food, and go on your day. Like, and, you know, so it's coming and it's here. But that's I still see value for the people.
It's so trippy to think about. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, imagine if it's like, if I'm not just using the AI clone, imagine if like I was able to tweak my voice just a little bit on some like subliminal messaging sort of trip to where I sound more like Biggie or I sound more like Tupac when I rap. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
it's like I'm following their flow. So now it brings you some nostalgia sort of trip or whatever
yeah,
to where it's like, oh shit, this dude sounds just like
Biggie.
fucking Biggie. Sounds just like fucking Tupac. Sounds just like, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Dude, this is taking me back to my childhood and shit. AI, man, it's a steep slope,
It is. It is.
Yeah,
It's
I'm torn between like I would love to be nostalgic because I was talking to my brother about this. I am sad, not depressed. I am sad that like rock music's gone for the most part. Like rock is so dead. I loved 2000s rock. No, but hear me out. Like nothing sounds like 3 Days Grace
no, it's
or
gone.
like Avenged
It's
Sevenfold.
gone.
Like and then same with like 80s, 70s, 60s music. That's all great music too, but I can't listen to it anymore because I've heard every single song like a few times. And now like every time it comes on, I'm just like, oh, I already know it. But like if there could be that style of music recreated again, I would love it. But if it wasn't the original artist, I would feel super conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so if you're looking for like 70s rock or whatever, and it kind of feels weird because it sounds just like Led Zeppelin, but Greta Van Fleet.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. See, I mean, there are artists who are keeping these sounds alive, bro. It's just like whether or not you know about them. You know, like some people like that was their influence, and so they exactly what you just said. They want that to still exist, but popular music, we get pushed. The big engines push us certain things over others, of course. So, and that's another benefit of the space, right? Like you can find and tap in with these artists like directly and kind of in a way like reinforce it. You know what I'm saying? Because the main reason for stuff not becoming more prevalent is really like funding, like embrace, like it's a bunch of things. Like so like the engine, they can come and then they're going to force feed you, right? Because they're going to put it on every platform. They're going to spread it to every inch of the earth that they can, and they have the money to do so, and like me personally, like bro, like it's not even of my concern to be the biggest artist that ever existed, like I'm more so like utilizing and leveraging what I see as far as community in the spaces to find what I call my people. You know what I'm saying? Like the people who resonate with what my messages are, like what I'm doing in general, like and make it a community around that, So like I think you can find those artists in this like nowadays and kind of just tap in with them, you know what I'm saying? Like if you like that music, like support them. Like it's that simple, like because then it reinforces it to exist, and that's what we need if it's what you want.
That's what I was talking about, though, is what you touched on earlier. Like the music's still there, but it's probably hard to find. So I know there's like sometimes my friend he'll go to LA and he'll come back and he'll be like, yo, we went to like this local venue, like listen to this rock. Like it reminds me of back when we were younger, and I'm like, dude, this is awesome, and I'll find it. But if I didn't have that friend and maybe he never showed me, that artist would never get that reach. And that's what really frustrates me is like, I love rap and hip hop. That's one of my favorite genres. I love to write. I love all that, but I don't want that to be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just frustrates me because me and my brother were working out and he's like, oh, I got my rock playlist. I got my rap playlist, and the rock songs are always the same few songs. And I'm like, man, I love these songs, but I don't want to listen to them anymore. I just want rock to be rock again. I just want I want there to be new rock. It's just, It frustrates me. I don't like that bass went to like a doof, doof. Like, dude, there's a bass guitar. There are drums where like that's not in rap. It's not.
Yeah.
And maybe we can implement it into rap at some point. But again, I just want there to be rock again, man. I just want rock back.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's either you could bring it or, find those people, man, and embrace them, bro. Like, cause yeah, it's I feel where you coming from, man. I listen to a lot of like older music, and I got different types of playlists. Like, it's nostalgic, like you said. Being able to music to me is a time machine. It's like you put it on and it can literally like put you in a space, like, and it shifts. It could be medicine. Like you could be feeling the way you put these songs on, and now that's gone, So like music is powerful, and and it's always for quite some time been, I feel like devalued. Like this isn't as important as like the sciences or stuff like that, but it has that same type of impact. Like I can, if something is put in song, I can remember it way better than anything else. So why not use that more when it comes to teaching? Why not use that more when it comes to presenting information? Like it's powerful, man. Word in general is powerful, and yeah, music, man, and just this space in general. I think there's some potential to like kind of shake that up, just the big engines, and just this is just it. Like, we're gonna see a bunch of people come out, man. Maybe I'll be one, maybe someone else, like, or but I think we'll see more and more folks able to reach like a platform from the people, and then like the community involved with it. Like that's what I want to see.
So
Did you have something to say, Clean? My bad.
yeah, so if you had, let's say, because 5 is too much, top 3 artists of all time, can be any genre, anything.
Well, my favorite artist of all time, as far as music goes, is Bob Marley. Bob Marley is my number one. A 2 and a 3. Let's see, who would I put there? Hip hop. Jay-Z. And a 3. Let's put someone else of another genre. Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a strong top 3.
Yeah.
Good to see at least one Indiana kid made it into the top 3.
There we go. Mike Jack.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about you, Clean?
Me?
Yeah, what about you? What's your top 3?
Of all time? Like any genre?
Yeah, try to do like one of each genre at least. Not like of every genre, but space them out.
Yeah.
Every genre?
No, I said different.
Yeah.
Different genres. Yeah. So as far as rock goes, somebody that I could listen to like all the time, no matter what, is probably either him or Mudvayne. It's more of like a heavy metal sort of, not him, like they're more like love rock or whatever. But yeah, I would say one of those two, they're pretty much tied. I would probably give the edge to him because it's more like family friendly, I guess you would say, as opposed to like screaming your ears off.
Yeah.
Hip hop, man, that's rough. But I can listen to Dirty Heads, like the Dirty Heads all day, which is more of like a Bob Marley-esque reggae sort of ska sort of feel, almost like a Slightly Stupid or whatever it may be. And then hip hop, man, this is rough. I would probably say I could listen to Wu-Tang Clan
that's
like every day and never get sick.
That's hip hop. It's a grunge sound too. Like I listen to it, it's an aesthetic to it that's just like that represents that time perfectly. Like, that time in hip hop.
And like I remember when I was like 12 years old, learning all of the words to the 36 Chambers and like Protect Your Neck and stuff like that, and just like nobody else listened to them, but I was by myself and I was like, I love these guys, this is great. And so I was like on my skateboard, really big into like kind of like comic books and shit like that, like just nerdy and weird, dude.
Cool, man.
And but that was the style. Like that was kind of like Wu-Tang embraced that, and so it was so cool. Plus there was like 22 of them, so it was really hard to like.
They were deep, bro.
Not love Method Man and like RZA and Ghostface Killah and like Old Dirty Bastard, dude. It was just like,
and everyone had their own style,
right? And it was so crazy. It was like, and then I was so deep into it, I got into this unknown like rap group called Sons of Man, who was just sponsored by Wu-Tang back in the day, and I was like heavy deep into them, and so the whole umbrella of like Wu-Tang I got into. But yeah, I mean, that it used to be Eminem, man. To me, he fell off, dude.
Really?
I listened to his lyrics now, and it's cornball bullshit. Norman.
Oh my God, you heard the meme and it corrupted you.
Better call the warden because I'm stopping your warden. Warden passed me the airplane and the napkins. It's like, bro, you're fucking corny. Please stop it, dude. How did I listen to you when I was like in 8th grade or 9th grade?
It's because of his delivery, bro, and who he is. It's hilarious. Like, a lot of his stuff is not meant to be taken serious, and some of it is.
Yeah, but dude, like if you consider like the Slim Shady LP and the Marshall Mathers LP, comparatively speaking to anything else that he had come out, it just makes those first 2 albums makes the other stuff look like absolute dog water horse shit.
I get that happens with a lot of artists, man. Like, is that people fall in love with, you know, a certain aspect of them, and you gotta think when it comes to creating art, music in general, like, you know, it's based around your circumstances and your situation and your state of mind that you're in. And so when that shifts, it's kind of hard to even keep the essence of that sound, because, you know, like, you aren't in that frame of mind anymore. Maybe you're not living in that situation that influenced that hunger and that ambition. And so, you know, like it's pretty much you know, you kind of gotta just allow people to grow. Like, because
exactly.
It's like
whatever, he grew backwards.
No,
I mean,
all right.
I listened to this dude for 2. Nope, don't give me this shit.
I got a whole
2
spiel,
hours
bro.
straight.
Go on.
2 hours straight, just straight fucking freestyling on Sway and Tech radio show, right?
Yeah.
The morning show on Sway and Tech. And this is back in like 98, 99, you know? And you were correct. Like, his hunger was off the charts.
Yeah.
Like, and he was backed in a corner, and I felt like he had to make it. You know what I'm saying? And he was hungry. He didn't give a shit. And now he's eating steak dinners and getting to approach people, and I totally get that's annoying. But dude, he's become some just corny. I like cringe. Ren is my current obsession. Yeah. Okay.
Who is Ren? I don't think I know Ren.
Ren is my current obsession. Yeah, I'm not.
Do you know who Ren is?
No.
I've never heard of Ren. But anyway, all I was going to say to that, I was going to use Mac Miller as an example. Mac Miller, one of my favorite artists of all time. Mac Miller started with party rap, and then he went to drug rap, and then he went to like multiple personality rap, and then he went to love, not even rap really, but it was rap, you know, with his the True Feminine or whatever it's called, the Feminine Divine. Yeah. It was all about love. And then his last album was about like circles, and that, or it was called Circles. Is kind of like the circle of life. And then he had Drowning, where he felt like he was like drowning. Like, he went through all the stages of emotions and his life with his albums, and each one, in my opinion, was fantastic. Every single, but they were all different styles that truly followed him, and his hunger, I think, was able to stay alive because he used his like true emotions into his art. So there was never a lack of hunger because he was going with how he truly felt. Yeah. And I think Eminem, he had those first 2 albums that you're right. He was super hungry. He was still super angry. He had a lot to prove. You know, Dre took a big risk with him. He didn't want to let his boy down. So he had that going for him too. And then after all the huge success, he kind of seemed like he wanted to stay with that, even though he was happier or maybe on drugs or whatever. And he did the whole D12 thing, which I think a few of those songs were hilarious. But again, like, they weren't meant to be taken serious, right? My band, like, bro, he's fucking around, bro. He's having a good time.
I get it.
But like, and then I'll say Relapse was one of the worst albums. He says it himself, but it was still a really funny album. He used a bunch of like hilarious, probably modern day offensively, you know, like accents, but hilarious regardless. And then he went and he tried to like do apologies through Recovery, which Recovery is one of my favorite albums of all time. I think that album, he killed it. And then he had Kamikaze, which wasn't too big of a fan. And then he had his Marshall Mathers LP2 or whatever, wasn't too big of a fan. But I still think his lyrics are really, really great. I think that his delivery is still one of the best in the game. And I just think he opened up the door for a lot of like interracial kind of like camaraderie within the scene, even though it sparked a lot of like backlash. That's how it all starts though. You know, like having a leader do something that most people aren't doing is going to create that backlash. But the greater thing, I think, is the camaraderie that comes afterwards. And that's why I think M is like one of the greatest.
I respect him. I always have a soft spot for Eminem, the early version, because in my opinion, the way the rap game was going, he was kind of like the Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire of baseball. Bro, I'm telling you, no, they had that down south rap shit, and it was awful. Juvenile, ha. Like I love
I
the
mean,
beat.
it
Nope,
the
nope.
down, like the whole awful thing, like that's very opinionated because it's like pretty much like, so that South era, it was just like, so for a long time. I mean, you have people Scarface like hip hop, like he's Houston, but like Texas, but that was their sound. That was that was New Orleans. The bounce sound, like literally, like they had a whole thing. It's just pretty much like different areas, different parts of the U.S. had like different culture in a sense, like as far as like what was going on there, and so like really like that. I mean, I liked it. I Cash Money. I like 400 Degrees, 500 Degrees, all these different albums. Like, but it's really that. I guess it was the uniqueness, to be honest, because you had New York, and I guess if you compare like the what hip hop originated from, then a lot of people say that same thing. They're like, nah, this isn't hip hop, or this is this and that. And sure, maybe to a degree, depending on how you breaking it down, you could definitely say that. But these artists like kind of like they opened up for it to become more. You know what I'm saying? Like for it to become like for it to expand, like, and get to the point where it's at now. Like some people will argue like now hip hop is trash and all that, and like sure there's like sounds like I don't really rock with, as far as modern artists, but it did grow. It grow like would it have if these things wouldn't happen, if these different artists with these different sounds and different approaches wouldn't have came into place, would hip hop even exist today? You know what I'm saying? Like, would it have reached the place that is at as far as internationally? And still been going. Like, I mean, it could be challenged, but yeah, I think the whole down south thing was necessary to an extent because it expanded hip hop. It expanded what it is, and it expanded its reach. So, like, I feel you though. You can stand on that, if you don't like it, but those are like giants still in like in far as like the history of hip hop, like like
I
for
will I
sure.
will say I will say this though. Uh Lil Wayne's first album,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to like the rapper he is today or whatever, is completely different. What is it?
Definitely.
Chop a City in the Sky or something like that was his first album.
Was it? That was his first one?
Yeah,
Let's
I
see.
think so.
Hold on, I gotta cross reference that because
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up.
I thought was it
Oh, shut it off. All right,
Oops.
look
Oh yeah, I
this up.
forgot. I can't. I don't know why I didn't just use my computer.
First Lil Wayne album.
Chop
The Block
Chop
is Hot.
City.
Yeah,
The
right.
Block is hot, okay?
Yeah.
And the block is hot. The block is hot. Ah. Yeah. The rapper he is now is a lot better than it was then. And I think it like he changed his style
Yeah, he grew.
and
He became more hungry as like an artist too, like to be respected. Like that's one thing. Like Lil Wayne, like throughout his journey, like it became sport to him. Like it started from where it did with Block is Hot, and like 500 Degrees and all that stuff. And it's just that was just a New Orleans sound and his sound out of New Orleans. And like, but after that, I want to say around the Carter, like that's when it started to transition like into like something else, because I feel like he was taking that influence of like original like New York hip hop, but doing it from his view, like, and from his stance of where he comes from, and like he was really rapping. So like that's where it kind of took a shift. Like Lil Wayne is like legendary, like whether or not you like him or not, like bro, he released so many mixtapes, like like yo, his mixtape game for me is like crazy, bro. Like
Sorry for the
I,
Wait was so freaking good.
yeah. Even before that, bro, like the droughts, what I'm saying, the squad up stuff, all that, like these mixtapes were like for me throughout middle school to high school, like Lil Wayne, like for sure. Like I didn't put Lil Wayne in my top Cause like if I was going hip hop, like I'm looking for a sound that's like I know I rock with just about everything this person has released, and there are some Lil Wayne projects. Like Lil Wayne did a rock project, and like yeah, it was all right, I guess like, but not really my thing. So he has some stuff that I don't rock with, but it didn't mean that I'm like Lil Wayne is a trash artist now. It's just like he's experimenting, and allow him the space to do so. He's one of the greats as far as rap goes, so he has all the right to kind of experiment with his sound. Like that's as an artist, bro, like you have to like open it up, because otherwise it just sounds regurgitated, and like we can say, oh yeah, we want more and more of that sound, but eventually you'll get tired of that too. Like you'll have this stance like this sounds just like this album, and and then it's like, so it's good, man.
But we still buy Madden. We still buy 2K.
Yeah, but
we still buy Call of Duty.
only for
We
so
still,
long, right?
No, come on, man. People
Dude,
want the same shit.
I played
People want the same shit.
I played one Madden game, and then my friend got the next Madden next year, and I played it, and I was like, this is the same game. And he was like, no, it's not. They got different teams. It's updated. And I never bought a Madden, NBA, or N2K. None of those. I never bought another one after that happened.
That's because you're smart. You only
buy
one
angry.
once every like 5 years.
I'll tell you, though. I would have played Halo 3 for my entire life if they just kept making more maps.
Right.
I would have. Like, it's just my thing. So I guess everybody has their own thing.
What's your favorite Lil Wayne song? Mine is off the Free Weezy mixtape. I Feel Good.
Favorite Lil Wayne song. Sheesh.
Yeah, I got to go look up a list, dude, because I don't even know.
The first song that comes to mind is The Mob off of Carter 2.
Okay.
It's the first song. And the reason being is just like that beat and that sample and just the way he delivered like on it. Like he went nuts on it to me. It was like, so there's a few albums that like I remember at a point, like so for me, albums have always been about the flow. The flow through of listening to the album, like, and remember when skits were a big thing and all this stuff. So like, all that album had all of that, and whether you like the context and stuff like that is a whole nother discussion. But as far as like a solid album, Carter 2, bro, and that's probably like still to this day probably my favorite project from Lil Wayne. Like, but and for me, it's because of the place that it served in my journey. Music is a soundtrack, so like that time frame, and when I was listening to that, like, yeah, Carter 2, bro.
Yeah,
you looking for Sorry for the Wait?
I think mine's Rolling. This is the song Rolling in the Deep that he redid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this song, I remember I worked at a Steak and Shake, and I was in the dish pit. I was doing dishes that day.
Yeah.
And I love dish pit because I could put in my headphones and nobody would mess with me, and it was the same base rate pay. So I didn't care. And so I was in dish pit. I was cool in it. I was having a great time. And this song came on. I'd never heard it before. I think because I was listening to Pandora. And so Pandora was just like, hey, you like Lil Wayne? Here's Rolling. And I was like, what is this? And it like starts off, like or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then he just comes in and ain't nobody fucking with me. I got, and then I'm just like, oh shit. And I just lost it, bro. I was like, I listened to the whole Sorry for the Wait album after that and just loved it.
But you notice how you said you equated it with a time frame and like the experience of like that all that plays a part, bro. Like, and the music and that's a wholesome memory, bro. Like, cause that's part of your journey, and like, you can use that album as a means to reference back to that. You could probably put that album on and it'll put you right back in that place, like seeing it,
There's so many songs. A lot of people didn't like Logic. They said he was a corny rapper. I personally don't really see it. I can see where they're coming from, but I didn't see that personally. I really like Logic, and his album, which he has an album I want to say is like produced in London or something. And I was listening to it when I first went over to London for my first time. I went to school there for about 2 years, so my first year there is actually like the first week right before I got onto the plane. I knew I was not about to have any more cell service ever again until I got back to the US. So I downloaded his full album right before the plane launched, like right before I could, get on the plane because I needed something to listen to. And I bumped that entire album for probably the first like 3 to 4 like weeks that I was in that country. And there's like one song in particular that it reminds me, because I was really stressed out. I had a girlfriend over there at the time, which is how I got over there. Me and her were fighting pretty bad. I didn't even want to be around her so much that I left at like 3 a.m. just so that I wouldn't have to be around her to wake up. And I like walked around the park because I was like, I'll just familiarize myself with the area, like while I'm here. Like, I'm probably going to break up with her anyways. I need to figure this all out of myself. I think it was it 44 More? I think it was 44 More, or 44, maybe not the 44 More. It was that song. I bumped it while walking around the park, and that song just kind of helps me get through like rough times. I love that song.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, that's all it's really about, man. Like, when it comes to music, like, what does it do for you? Like, music has its own utility in a way of, like, whether it's like putting you in a good mood, getting you focused, or whatever. Like, so that's dope that his music does that for you.
Do you have like certain music that you have to listen to? Like for me, when I was doing schoolwork, I couldn't really listen to like rap because I was too focused on the lyrics and it would distract me. But I could put on like instrumental music or something quiet that would kind of focus.
Yeah, I do that. I like the whole like chill hop thing, like lo-fi and everything like that. Like, I can put that on, get in the zone. I remember once I've been to the UK once, to London, and like I was just like walking through. I had a speaker just playing, just in a zone. Like literally, this person just came up and just started talking to me, like you're a cool person, like, and I'm just like, I'm just chilling, man. Just it's a vibe. So that music just has you in the zone, and I think people can appreciate it for that too. But it definitely helps with focus.
Yeah. I was going to ask too, with your type of music and your preference, do you prefer lyrics over melody or melody over lyrics, or do you think it has to be a balance?
Balance. I don't put either over the other because I feel like they all have their place and they're all important in a song. I listen for all those things. Like, I listen for the beat, I listen for the melodies, the flows, the lyrics. Like, it's many components, and like some tracks hit on all of that, and those are the great tracks. Like, and then some they hit on one more than another, and I can appreciate that aspect. But yeah, the great tracks, I think, incorporate all of that. All of that is like important.
You were about to say something, Clean. I cut you off.
Yeah, what was your top 3?
Oh, yeah, I didn't get to it. So it's funny that you brought up Lil Wayne, because I was going to say with rap / hip hop, I have to put Eminem and Lil Wayne kind of together. I don't know how I'd try to balance those two. I loved Lil Wayne just because like his lyrics were on par with Eminem's as far as like the absurdity to them and like how crazy some of the punchlines were. And I was just like, wow, like nobody else is really doing it like them. And that's what I focused on real heavy when I was younger, which is what got me into writing. Right. As I got older, I realized I had no flow, I had no rhythm, and I sounded like garbage, but I had all these lyrics that I knew I could put together. So, I kind of got a little bit better with that. But now I'm probably a little bit more melody focused because I'm trying to just still get better at that. Rock is kind of like a mixture. It's like screamo, hardcore kind of. It's called Dance Gavin Dance. This is my favorite band of all time when they had Johnny Craig, which was all the way up till like 2011. But that dude was scamming people and had like alleged stuff with women. So he got kicked out the band. Yeah, it's always a shame.
Shit. Rock life.
Yeah. His voice is like my favorite rock voice ever, especially when he kind of like does that scream sing. Because it's not traditional screaming, but it's not really singing. It's like he really putting in everything into that lyric or into that vocal. So that's what I love about that. Like I can truly feel like everything. And the guitar is like super intricate in all the songs. It's like the most crazy melodies you've ever heard. And then the drums are just going hard, but they're also super rhythmic. And then you got this dude's voice. And then there's like a screamer in the middle. It's got everything. So favorite band of all time, Dance Gavin Dance. And then
Gavin Dance.
I'm going to struggle with the third one, bro. I don't know. Yeah, Dance Gavin. What's really cool about them too is this dude right here, Will Swan, I want to say his name is. He's the bassist, but he's also a rapper in the group. So there's some songs where he'll actually rap. There's probably like 2 or 3 songs every album that he raps in. So it's got.
And that even connects back with what I was saying about the South coming into play and like all those different aspects. Cause like look how the style of rap has like transitioned and even into other genres. And what would make people think to do that besides hearing it in different formats and different styles, you know? Like cause some of these people are like they're artists from the South. And so like they grew up and they listened to those artists from the South. Like, you know, I think that's something to connect with that.
Yeah,
It
and
is.
so this
I
is like
don't think
the
I've ever
Screamer
heard
dude
that.
too. Yeah, they came out, I want to say like 2002 or 2003,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. They had 2 albums, Downtown Battle Mountain and Downtown Battle Mountain 2. And those are my favorite albums of all time. My favorite song of all time is on Downtown Battle Mountain 2. It's called Blue Dream. So if y'all ever want to, it's crazy though. Like just be prepared to listen to some crazy shit. Like it's going to start off super, rough, and then it's going to get beautiful, and then it's going to go super rough again and then get beautiful and then end with like funk. They have a lot of funk in their music.
I like funk.
I
love it.
Yeah.
I love me some funk. That is a
Bootsy
fact.
Collins, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't even know much about funk.
I'm I like Bootsy Collins a lot, as far as funk goes. It's Bootsy, baby. But yeah, like
Flavor,
did you ever listen to that? Like What's a Telephone Bill? What was it? I'd Rather Be With You. If you can just listen to I'd Rather Be With You,
that's the joint, bro.
and that shit had a solid beat. That shit was just like I'd rather be with you.
Go listen to that.
Hold up. What's it called?
Like,
what's it called?
Shit.
I'd Rather Be With You. Bootsy Collins. When you get time, listen to that one. Not right now, because it's one of them songs you gotta kind of just chill out and just put your headphones on and just let it rock, bro. Like I'm telling you, that's
this guy was like a whole vibe. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He's one of those people where it's just like you got to realize the time and the era, and he was just like he's peacocking all the time, dude. His style was so different. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at him.
Yeah, he looks hilarious.
Attention.
Yeah, and like that's where those shades. Like he kind of popular. Well, no, not him alone. Who was the wrestler? That wore those shades with the stars. Was it Shawn Michaels or?
Yeah,
I kind of know. I have a visual, but I don't know the name.
Yeah,
I think it was Shawn Michaels.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Macho Man did it. He had like the ones with the blades in it or whatever that you could see through. Yeah.
It was a sun, a star I meant in those glasses.
Was it gold? It's not Gold Dust, was it? Bret Hart had
it might be too hard to find.
Type in Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, he had all wild ones, man.
He might have worn them at one point.
Yeah. All right, we're giving it to Bootsy. Definitely listen to that song, bro. It's a vibe, man. Like it's definitely in my playlist. I think I'm going to start to study funk more. I know music, but I have like this playlist. I don't know if you guys have like Apple Music, but I could share it with you. It's just like a bunch of tracks from from maybe like the late 60s to the 80s, the early 80s, and a bunch of good stuff in there.
If you share it and I don't have Apple Music, could I still see the songs and go find it on my own?
Yeah, I think you should be able to.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll share it with you.
Yeah, I don't know. While I was telling you about because it's so hard to describe that band sometimes, especially when I'm trying to not like take up all the time for myself. But the band having like rock, scream, soft singing, and rap, along with like funk and other. I'm just like, and I realized funk was one of the biggest reasons why I ended up truly loving that band. And you're right. I think I need to go study some funk too. I need to go back and study and go watch some like true funk masters.
The world needs the funk, bro. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah,
that.
Man, it's so weird. Like it's just weird. It transports you to literally the 60s and 70s, dude. Like to where it's like you're sitting in funk. You're sitting in a deeper seated living room on furry couches, just listen to this shit with
Yeah.
good vibes. Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny. It's just it transports you where it's like as long as you get in that mindset, you'll vibe with it. You'll
I
vibe with
agree.
it real heavy. Man, it's so good.
That makes me want to ask you too, actually, where did you start? Like what music did you fall in love with first?
Who me?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be hip hop, R&B, and soul. You know, like between those two. My pops listening to hip hop. You know, Jay-Z, Nas. You know, you name it.
Those are
And
very conflicting.
yeah, I mean, in a sense, I mean, they're very connected too. You know, because I mean, at the end of the day, like hip hop is like a root of, you know, it stems from certain genres, like, you know, whether we say reggae, jazz, like it's a lot of different influences, and definitely R&B because the disco, all that type of stuff, like. You know, they kind of like just veered in different directions. Like, you know, people make R&B, they wanted to keep that love, that soul, you know, that type of, and then hip hop took that, but just kind of transformed it into a new, you know, way of presenting it. And but yeah, like the man coming up, like neo soul. Like I have like a real, you know, big thing for neo soul. So like I like to rap on R&B beats. That's like one of my things. Like because I love when that would happen. Like I may make a whole project like that at some point. Have some singers on there and stuff like that, like real vibes. And but yeah, it was between those two. And then I had uncles and stuff. Like my uncle, he played nothing but the old school, you know. He sang, we'd ride with him, he's singing, like he's old school gangster type of guy, and like, you know, we pick us up or take us places and we just vibing like to the music, and that kind of grew my love for, you know, that you know, that time frame, you know, back, like I said, 60s to 80s and everything. I actually had a grandfather, my mother's father. He was a part of a group called the First Class, and you know, he played part in the writing of the song "Me and My Gemini" is one of the songs. You know, that was one of their famous songs. And so yeah, it's always been around. Music and everything it's part of who I am, man. That's why I do it, bro. Like it's my birthright, if you will.
Do you have
Yeah.
any songs that we could listen to live right now?
Yeah, I mean, you go to the SoundCloud right now, and you know, SoundCloud
Yeah,
type
let's
in
do
Mad
it.
Five. Mad
What were you
540.
gonna What were you gonna say, Clean?
I was gonna say, so like you had the East Coast, West Coast, but he didn't choose a side when listening to Nas
Who's
and
that? My father?
Jay-Z
Oh no. He
because
listened
of
to Tupac.
the
He listen,
99 Summer Jam, right?
yeah,
Was
yeah.
where they kind of had the
He,
battle.
he didn't choose a side. Like that's something I would remember if he was like, you can't listen to Tupac. You know,
Yeah.
like he listened to everything, man. Like, you know, he was into music. He loved music. He loves music too. Definitely, you know. So yeah. So the second one there. I mean, you could play that the BB King one. That's just like me rapping over. BB King was a track that Lil Wayne and Drake did. I just love the beat. So really on my SoundCloud, what you're getting at is like it's gonna be a non-stop mixtape. I'm gonna use SoundCloud as a means to like redo songs that were like, you know, some songs from the past, the famous production or newer joints, whatever I like, because I use it really as like practice and as just like how would I come on to this type of track, and so that helps with my versatility and, you know, stuff like that. But
Now I know JL is into a kid called Beast. Obviously, there's some
yeah,
pictures of the
me
kid
as
called
well.
Beast. You
Yeah.
are as well. Are you releasing anything underneath Beat Street?
Yeah. I
Or
have so like that Orange Beanie, all that stuff, like those are like popular songs over in that community. You know, some of the first ones. That track there like is mentioned on ETH, the Orange Beanie. So like I've been like bridging out, like got music. I want to put music on every chain I can. And my hopes are that at some point it becomes just like distributing to like streaming platforms where I can release something and then it's just accessible to all the chains, and
right.
like no matter what chain you're on, you can buy the music. Because chain banging and, you know, like the tribalism, I don't really care for it. We got to bring it together,
Yeah.
and that's I'm trying to do that with music.
All right, so I'm gonna play BB King freestyle, about a minute 52. So we'll go ahead, we'll listen to it and see what you got. And let me know if you can hear it too, because I know sometimes I have some issues sharing the audio.
Yeah. 40, 40,
I love
40,
this beat.
42. And you can pay attention to the words, or you can pay attention to the feel. It's your choice, you know. That's how I'm coming. You say I'm late to the show, but I'm here nonetheless. Living in my truth. In the booth, I confess to the question with the answer. I can stand the test with the rhythm and poetry. Give them class, I profess. So go ahead and digest. I'ma digress to another thing. Married to the life through religion without a wedding ring. Battle with myself, wore it out to see what better brings. Put a hole in the sky just to hear how heaven sings. Let it in, let it out. I don't do this for the clout. If my head is in the clouds, I'm fly thinking for the route. Transporting in the confidence. Last stop was doubt. Evicted that motherfucker, yeah, I had to move it out to a better way of thinking. That's the way I move about. I'm moving the consciousness. Some prefer to move the mouth, staring through the fear like a seer. Bullshit in the real shit right here. And we are the way we are. With trauma and the scars. We live this life in wrong or right. We still are going for, cause we are the way we are. With trauma and the scars. No matter how they try to stop us, connected to the one can't block us.
Nice.
Hey,
For many older adults and their families, aging raises interesting
Uh.
questions, including how to stay.
all right, hold up. Okay, now I can hear
That's
you guys.
good. That was literally better than anything I could ever do. So
Yeah, I'm trying to think how you get the voice so clean, because like mine, I don't feel like ever sounds that clean. I'm not good at mixing though, so I know that that's why.
I'm getting
But
better. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, it's really like, I mean, what I've learned, like compression, reverb, and EQing are like the three major things, you know what I'm saying? Like to start with, you know, like to kind of dive into when it comes to mixing, getting good, and then just leveling. Like, I mean, even I was listening to that and I was like, I need to turn that echo down a little bit. So I literally will. Like, that's SoundCloud. I use SoundCloud as well because it's easy for me. Like, if I want to replace the file, like if I put out a mix and I'm just like I'm tweaking it one day and I get a better mix, I can just go swap it out, and it's like, you know, it's literally right then and there, you know, as soon as I do it. But yeah, like tracks like that are just like literally like free form expression, you know, just like hopping on these beats that major artists do, and you know, doing my thing pretty much. So yeah, that's
yeah,
the
it's interesting too, because you know it's like a minute and 50, and I feel like music's kind of gotten a little bit shorter as our attention spans have gotten a little bit shorter. You know, like your YouTube Shorts, there's TikTok, there's
I was like, that's
Instagram
a
Reels.
full-blown song right there, baby.
Yeah,
That sounds like
right?
a full-blown song.
In Juice World terms, that's like
Yeah,
6
right.
tracks broken up, man.
Nah, man, you put some respect on Juice WRLD's name. He
I
makes
like
a
Juice
long
World, but
song.
all his songs are 2 minutes. Let's be real.
Have y'all heard the Twitter Space track?
Yes.
The Twitter Space one, I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, so like that one, like I was talking about it with S Dizzle. He was just like, yeah, people's attention spans is too long. It's too long, because that's a longer track. It might be 3 to 4 minutes, something like that. And like, yeah, that it has become a norm that people just like, you know, they release stuff is like 2 minutes long, and you know, it's like. But I mean, I don't see problem with this. Like my original track, some of them are longer. Like Orange Beanie, that's just hitting under 3. But that was shorter. Like, cause so Orange Beanie was originally the same concept, you know, like I rapped on another beat, and then like so many people just was just like, yeah, we love this track. I'm like, man, we can't really push this track because the underlying production is someone else's beat. Now on SoundCloud, it's like I'm not monetizing it, I'm not selling it, I'm not nothing. It's just, you know, so they literally, like, people who don't want their music like on stuff, they had a means like with SoundCloud that if you upload it, SoundCloud picks it up, you know, from the database, and then, you know, they'll tell you can't have this up. And so like literally like it's called jacking for beats, you know, is how I've grown up to learn. Is like all my favorite artists did mixtapes, and they did that.
Right.
You know, like they would rap on other people's beats, like you name it, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, anybody,
Literally anybody on DJ Clue or
Yep,
Funkmaster Flex
yep,
mixtapes.
yep.
It's all the same.
That was a thing, man. So it's like I want to keep that alive with the SoundCloud thing, and just yes, and it's music I can put out. People who don't mint or don't, you know, buy stuff, you can go there. You can listen to music. YouTube's has some stuff on there. I have a few songs on streaming platforms, but I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm rebelling against the streaming platform right now. Streaming platforms, because I'm just like, bro, like I just want to get the music to the people. So like the music, get it to the people. And you know, if I'm minting, you know, bro, I've made more from my music in the last couple months than I've made from my music on streaming platforms in years, like multiple years, bro. And getting pennies on the dollar for like my music being on these platforms. Sure, it's good because anybody can go in there who has a subscription and they can listen to it, and that's good. You know, I want people to hear the music, but it's like you're making money, you know, from them, and I'm getting nothing, like damn near, you know. Like it's crazy to me, bro. Like so, but yeah, that's, you know, it is what it is, and that's why we taking this different direction, like with Web3 NFTs and building it up, you know, because it'll allow me to do more with the music. Like it just will.
Yeah, it's interesting on YouTube too, because I have, you know, you can probably see in the top. Well, I got rid of the screen. I'll bring it back. But let me make sure. Pause. So like, you know, up here in the top right kind of shows my name. That's like, I don't know, some name I created. I was like Ghost Kid. I feel like I'm some like, you know, little kid, childish that like nobody really sees. And I was like, I could just, you know, I'm making music. Nobody sees it. Ghost Kid. But yeah, I took some beats off of YouTube. I thought they were like pretty good beats, and I wasn't monetizing any of it. And I released the songs, and probably like once a month I'd have a new song, and just kept doing it.
Yeah.
This dude hit me up one day while I was at work, and he was just like, "Hey man, you used my beat," and I was like, it said free in the title, and he was like, "Yeah, but you can't just release it without hitting me up and like telling me." And I was like, okay, like my bad. I'll just take it down then. And he was like, "You're just gonna take it down?" And I was like, "You just told me you didn't want it up there. Like, what do you want, man?"
Nah, in that situation, it's like it's like, how do we move forward? Like, what do you want to do? Like, you know, like
right.
Well, so I think he's just looking for credit. So
no. I put his name and I put everybody's name in my links always. Sometimes even in the title. Right? Like I showed respect always. That's what I'm about. It's not my music.
I think what he was expecting was you were supposed to put in the title beats by whoever,
maybe, right?
YouTube link in the bottom, and then the first thing like Ghost Kid on the track, blah blah so and so on the beat.
Yeah,
let's go.
Sure.
He probably tagging it.
I don't know.
Tagging it.
He did have the tag, and I left the tag, and I left in everything. I didn't mind, you know. And I hit him up. I was like, "I'll take it down." And he was like, "Wait, you're gonna take it down?" And I was just like, "Look, man, that I didn't know that that's how it was. Like, I've used a lot of people's beats. Nobody's ever complained before. Like, if you don't want it up." And he was just like, "Honestly, man, I was expecting you to like fight me because, you know, you just spent all this time to make a song, and you're just gonna take it down." And I was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "You know what? Honestly, respect for that. Just keep it up, but don't do that again." And I was like, "All right, man. Have a good one."
Well, I don't know what I did, but all right.
Different people have different stances on it, you know, and that's like my whole thing with it too. Is like, if it got to the point, like it's like, you know, take it down, cool. Like, bro, it's so many options. Like literally, like if you have producers on hand, like that's what we did with Orange Beanie. We did, but no one ever reached out. We had Too Illy, you know, it says produced by Too Illy. He created an original beat, you know what I'm saying, in the realm of the feel of the track. And so that way, you know, we don't even have to worry about that. And so it's like, now I can put it on the streaming platforms. Now I can, you know, I can do other stuff with it, you know, and it's not limited. But I've always had the mentality, like, I like the saying, don't ask permission, ask forgiveness. And it's like, so it's like in that situation, it's kind of like, all right, you know, what do you think? Like, Is it, do you want me to pay some? Can I pay that? Like, what am I trying to do with this track? Like, do you want to help push this track? Like, what? Like, what are we doing? And you figure that out with the artist. I get him, like, about like whatever he was trying to do there. I mean, obviously it was, what was the point if he was just going to do that? He could have said nothing. But yeah, people, some folks, that's they want to make a fuss. They feel like you're getting over on them or you're doing something, but you're not generating nothing from it. And at most, like, just, hey, I want you to take the track down, XYZ. That's it. Like, because some people don't feel that way. So I don't even think you should like take that and kind of like stop your whatever you were starting to build with it. Like, still make music, because it could be the complete opposite at some point. Like, someone could be like, yo, this track is crazy. I got this idea. I know this person, but how do you get to that point if you don't release it, if you don't put it out? Like, shit, at least let it become big and then figure it out. Like, you can take the steps, like, if you know how to properly go out and do the proper registering and, or reach out to get clearance. Like, most people just don't know how to go about that. They just, and most stuff, like, for example, these beats I'm doing, like, what are they gonna give me clearance on it for anyway? Like, I'm a artist in Web3. I'm not selling it. I don't want to sell it. Like, like, that's why I put it on here. So yeah, nah, I don't think he did anything wrong.
The craziest aspect that I have ever dealt with, as far as that stuff goes, was that I was a big fan of Halo as well, right? And so we had a podcast and everything like that. It was big. It was a pretty big podcast. And so one week we decided, like a month in advance, we were going to invite Jeff Steitzer, who was the multiplayer announcer's voice, right? He does like double kill, triple kill, this, that, and the other,
okay.
Right? And so I tried to go through all the proper channels. And as me as like a regular dude, I'm like, how do I get clearance to talk to this guy or whatever? First thing I did was reach out to his agent. His agent then told me I had to reach out to the voice actors union, right? Because it was going to be a paid promotional gig, right? For our space, right?
Right.
And then on top of that, then I had to get clearance from Microsoft. Have you ever tried to get clearance from Microsoft?
See?
Because he was going to do some of his voices on stream or whatever. And so Microsoft never got back to me, obviously, because they don't know who the hell I am or any one of the people that were in there. And so we had him on, but it was like an assumed risk, because it's like, well, I don't have copyright access to these things from Big Daddy. So if they say it on stream, are they going to come down on me? And thank God they did not. And everything was fine. But it's like, there are so much things. I never thought I would be talking to the voice actors union, but I did.
Yeah.
That's dope, though. It's dope you did that, because now you're making those connections. You're getting familiar with the process. That's cool, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And but I mean, copyrights are a crazy thing. You know what I'm saying? If it's registered, you can go.
But it's weird though, because it's like, this is my alt account that has 10 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Like 50 views at most on a song. Like, bro, I'm just doing my own thing. I'm just trying to like put up some music. Like, I don't really care who sees it. I hope that whoever does likes it, and that's it. If 2 people watch it and 2 people liked it, then I'm happy. Like, that's all I really wanted. And he was cool about it. After he realized I wasn't trying to screw him over, he was like, oh, like that's cool. So that's how it is. If anybody does want to check it out, it's Ghost Kid on YouTube. It's probably extremely hard to find. So the way that I look it up is I do Ghost.
There's going to be a bunch of scary.
And I do Honed In, because that's like one of my first songs, and it'll come up right here. But you have to type in the first thing. If you don't, then it just comes up with like Ghost by Kid Cudi. Like you scroll forever, you'll never find it.
Have you listened to Ghosty Mane?
Ghosty Mane?
Ghosty Mane.
Ghosty Mane.
HOSTMA. No.
Ghost Mane right here?
Yeah.
Let's see.
This dude is cool. And he's got rubber hose animation for all of his videos or whatever. And I would suggest listening to this. This guy's actually like a
She doing 489 million.
Yeah,
rapper,
right.
but they do like, I don't know how to better explain it, like intense, dark.
Well, I'm getting caught up on them numbers, like, I don't know, like promo and bots and shit. It's crazy how we look at these numbers and we're just like, what is the actual numbers though? Like, you know, like how many of those views are actually like the views? Because I mean, I've used the platforms, I've used like promotional services for YouTube and you know, stuff like that. And the more you pay, the more it's supposed to come. It's supposed to be organic, but then you'll see all these alt accounts, you know, liking your stuff and, you know, stuff like that. They can even get them to comment, all type of stuff. It's all vanity metrics, but if the music's good, that's dope. Like,
I
that's
mean,
all.
there was an argument a while ago. I want to say it was like maybe Ariana Grande even, or Selena Gomez or somebody had like an album out and they paid a bunch of people to go buy the album for them. Like they gave them money to buy the albums. And I was just like,
Help with the
man,
sales. To help with
yeah,
the numbers.
to make
I
them look
mean,
like they were number one.
That
yeah.
happened before. That happened
It
before.
happens all the time.
Yeah.
But that's just what we're touching on is like these numbers, we know them to be fake. Like there's probably, you know, maybe 15 million on this 27 million that are legit. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe 20 million are legit and 7 million are fake. But
Listen to the song. You know what I'm saying? And like his shit's not too bad.
no, I'm sure it's good. That's not the point though. The point is that the numbers are all a little skewed, right? At the very least.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you have other rappers like that, like Suicide Boys.
Oh, I was listening. He got a track that I like. Let me see if I can pull up my SoundCloud real quick. I just found them recently. It was literally like I was listening to SoundCloud and damn, I can't pull it up. Oh, let me see.
Like I saw these guys in concert with Ghost Main, and it was a hyped up concert, man. You had a bunch of crazy teenagers just acting stupid, you know? And the funny thing is, like a month later, I went to go see John Mayer. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
gotta balance it out.
Yeah, which John Mayer can play the shit out of a guitar. If you've not watched him play or anything like that, like everybody's like, "Oh, the lyrics so soft, it's terrible," like whatever. If you listen to that dude play a guitar, he can wail on that thing. It's kind of crazy the amount of talent. I would say one of the best guitarists I've ever seen, and I've seen Eddie Van Halen, I've seen Zach Wilde, I've seen just about everybody you can think of.
They said Juicy J and DJ Paul sued Suicide Boys for $6.4 million.
Juicy J, he was on a track with Katy Perry. I don't want to hear a single word that man has to say.
Right.
That makes him invalid, all because of Katy Perry.
Oh, Katy Perry.
Do you know the song that you were looking for?
I can't find it. Yeah.
No, this is some of the music that my brother puts in our playlist when we work out. He likes the there's like the Rick and Morty with Suicide Boys behind it. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't. Suicide Boys, Rick and Morty. It's like
I'm not that familiar with them. I just, you know, I found a song popped up on SoundCloud.
I don't know how much of this I can show or if this is going to count as copyright by watching this without sound, but it's basically just like a Rick and Morty fan made, you know, thing to go along with some of the Suicide Boys music.
Yeah.
But my brother's big on that.
Bro. I'll check it out later.
Somebody chopped it up. Yeah. But like it's crazy how much I think music influences us, you know, especially when we're younger, you know, to do certain things. So hopefully, if anything, this will make the kids get into crypto just a little bit. I know your Twitter Spaces one. That is probably your most observed track. Is that correct?
Yeah, right now, yeah, because bro, we were really like pushing it. That's why we had like, bro, we only had like 30% met, bro. To be honest, like 33% or something like that. But it's more difficult, like I guess because I mean, this is akin to like buying CDs or something like that. You know what I'm saying? In the sense when people mention the music, and so you know, like it's still mentioned. Like we got Twitter Space still mentioned, Live from the Club is still mentioned, and then the Orange Beanie just started mentioning like over this past week on ETH. So it's I mean, I look at it like, bro, it's music available, you know. I don't really have the mentality like we need to sell out first week, or you know, like we could sell out whenever. Like I'm just gonna keep working and you know, and building this thing up, and people double back or whatever the case. So yeah, man.
How do you keep track of you know, the rights and the royalties and all that? Because you know, I bought
In the smart contract.
Yeah, but so like there's another lo-fi album. I can't remember the project, but you know, I purchased Cleans and I used Cleans, but like what if I were to sell his music and then continue to use it in my YouTube videos? I know for a fact that nobody would come after me unless I told Clean and he knew.
Like put it on like streaming platforms or something like that?
Well, use it in my videos.
No,
right?
you'd be good to do that. Like,
But I don't own it anymore. I sold it, right? So let's say I don't own it.
After you sold the NFT.
Right.
See, now that's a whole nother situation. Like, I mean, to be honest, like, bro, it's music. It's music, so it's like it's similar to like a download. Once you bought it and you downloaded it, it's like, I mean, you have it. Like you bought the music. So yeah, it wouldn't be a conflict. Like I mean, no, I wouldn't come after you after that, you know, from that standpoint.
You might not, but I think that's the purpose of it, right? And that's why people hold it so that they can use royalties, you know, royalty free and stuff. So I feel like if I sell it, I don't own it anymore. I shouldn't be able to.
Right.
So but I know for a fact that there's no implementations yet.
Yeah, it's no tech for that yet to really like. It's really just like it's trustless, like, you know, like that. Some people just going to do the opposite. I mean, what the hell? I mean, it's the same with, you know, if I buy NFT, I get the 3D file for the NFT. Like, you know, like I can choose to not delete the 3D file after I sold the NFT. I can still do something. But if a person has established a business and like, you know, they want to pursue you because you're using the likeness of, you know, their brand, then they can, like, you know. So is right now it's not streamlined. Like it's not set up to where, you know, it's being picked up by a database that you're not holding NFT and all that type of stuff. So I mean, really right now, as far as music goes, it's more about, you know, like I said, so long as it's not you putting this music out saying this is my music, I'm the owner of this music, I don't have any problem with it. Cause like to me, it's just like I'm selling NFTs to generate money to be able to reinvest into the creation of the music and to, you know, be able to develop this thing out. So it's like, you know, I want people to be able to do stuff like that, put to YouTube, and, you know, so they can monetize their videos, make some money off their videos and not have that problem. Like, so that's cool with me. But yeah, the extras, man, it's like we're gonna have, you know, trials where it's gonna be stuff like that. Like it's gonna be people who just like, you know, f that, you know what I'm saying? And if it's necessary, then, you know, take the proper steps, you know, to get it taken down. But yeah, I don't see it in that situation just because, I mean, you did buy it, yeah, you know. So
well, I think it's like right now, you know, for any new artist, you just want to get some reach. So you're happy anybody playing your music, anybody sharing your music, pretty much anywhere, any social media, you're probably like, oh, it's cool. Like I'm small. It's not a big deal, you know. But once you get a little bigger, you know, that's when these things start to become a little bit more impactful, I think.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Like, does that shift? I mean, for me, like, you know, my plans is like to stay independent anyway. So like, I don't plan like, I may do like a partnership deal with like you know, a label, like a distribution deal or something like that. But I mean, that would be new music, you know. They wouldn't have. I'm not, you know, selling my back catalog, you know, like you know, have plans to do that. So I mean, it's definitely one of them slippery slopes still. Like, I mean, right now as it stands, that's the case. You know what I mean? It's no problem. There's no problem with that. And I don't plan to shift that. Like, I mean, I'm on the video now. It's the receipts. Like, so it's like I'm saying this. So this if like I said, I'm not one to pursue that, you know, like trying to take you to court for that type of situation. But you had this. This is proof. So
Have
Yeah.
have you ever wanted to be on the radio?
have I ever wanted to be on the radio? Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's cool. Yeah, I never like pursued it, but I mean I know how to go about that to get on the radio. So I think I will push towards that. You know, as I'm building this out, just for like brand reach. You know, because you know that's a major thing to be on the radio. Like Twitter space on the radio. I mean, maybe that'll be dope. You know, like people like what the
Right.
hell. Like so certain singles, sure like yeah, like I think I'll push towards that, you know, seeing what, cause that's like now we're really reaching the masses, you know, now we're really like, you know, getting to the households or the cars and, you know, stuff like that, like without them even like being familiar with the space, but they're hearing the lingo, they're hearing the terms, and maybe they're just like, yo, this is about crypto, like what does this mean? They mentioned this in the song, and now they're looking it up, and or they looking us up, and now they're getting to certain things like Cardano and stuff like that. That's kind of how I view it. And so yeah, man,
It's
that'll
kind
be.
of so as an on-air DJ, right? So I did on-air DJ stuff for like 4 years, you know, or whatever. And the easiest thing you can do is go up to a local station, whatever it is, right, in your area. Just be like, and you have to say one thing.
What's that?
Well, two things. Do you support local artists? And of course, they're going to say yes because they're not dickheads. And then on top of that, you say, how is there any way I can schedule time to come to the studio, see if you guys could listen to this, give me any sort of pointers or like whatever. And if you like it, you can play it. If not, then oh well.
Right.
Dude, and that's like that is 10 out of 10 that will work every single time. Just by saying those things. Do you support local artists? Yes. What person's going to say no?
Right. And then with Twitter space, like we're all from different places, so that's multiple radio stations we could go to, and kind of, you know, I like that approach.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind as you know, taking those steps start to come into play.
The inside scoop from Clean.
Meek Fish, what's up?
Yo, what up, Meek?
Dude, I have to go pick up my kids.
Yeah, we
all
at the
good
2 hour mark now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we are at the 2 hour mark. So hey, once again, I appreciate you for coming out. 4042 Crib. If anybody wants to go check out your music, I have all that in the description below.
Okay.
So yeah, go check it out. This is his Twitter right here. The Twitter is linked in the description below. You can, you know, look at all these. He's selling his single, you know, Orange Beanie for the 0042 ETH, live from the club 42 ADA, and then Twitter space for 25 ADA. So you can't really beat these prices, man.
You have to at least get Twitter spaces. At least.
At least.
At the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you all for watching today. I know this wasn't a whole lot of Cardano content. I think some of us may love that, you know, give a little break from some of the negativity in the space. And just, you know, when you got a long-term stock portfolio, you're not looking at it every day. It's okay. We can look at other things. I love talking about the music, man. We went down so many avenues today. It was awesome. But do you have any last words you want to say?
Man, peace to the people. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Like you said, man, give me a follow at minimum and keep up with what we're building, what we're doing over here, man. We're trying to use music to bridge this thing, you know, whether it's between the chains or just to the, you know, people outside of the space. And I believe, you know, music has that power to do so. So just follow the journey.
100%, man. Well, I appreciate you all once again. Remember to get outside, see your friends, see your family. We're here to make more money so that we can spend more time with them. Until next time, y'all.
Let's go.
Peace.